Rejection. Many of us fear rejection. We fear we don't fit in, we're not good enough. We form these beliefs about ourselves and stories, and I had that theme going as well. Really, fear of rejection. Because if you have your heart open and 98% of the population is living with their heart closed, it's like trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. It doesn't go. And many of our young children are finding this, and many in Japan lock themselves in their room and won't come out. Many sensitive souls just find it so overwhelming, they just want to kill themselves and end it all. And that's such a shame, because you have to deal with it and come back next time and deal with it if you don't this lifetime. So rejection is a feeling of being totally separate, totally alone, nobody understands you. And I think most addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics, I myself, I've used shopping, I've used drinking wine, whatever it might be, to numb your feelings, because it's at times can be just so overpowering and overwhelming. So it's the fear of rejection that actually invites rejection. I always felt rejected as a child because my mother thought I was from Mars. I said, well, thank God I'm from somewhere, because I don't fit in here. I didn't understand. And I felt really different from everybody in my family. And so that rejection went on for years and years. And even when I was an adult, had 5 children, I remember flying into Australia, all the way from America, for Mother's Day, and I took a beautiful painting by a very famous artist to give to my mother. And I walked in the door and she said, "Oh, what's that muck? I'm not putting that muck on my wall." So there's like a stab in my solar plexus of rejection. I mean, this happened all my life. And when she was 10 years before she died, I asked her, I said, "Why have you always rejected me?" And she looked at me as like she didn't quite understand. And then she said, "What do you mean rejected you?" I said, you love my brother very much, but I've always felt very unwelcome and unloved here. And she said, "Well, that's simple. You're really strong. You don't need anything from me. Your brother, he needs me." So after years and years and years of being rejected, that cleared it up for me. And for years I'd felt so much pain around that, and made up stories in my head. I was unloved and unwanted, and so it's amazing what we do to ourselves. So when we feel separate and alone, nobody loves us, everybody hates us, and you're just different. We're all different, and isn't that so wonderful? We're unique and incredible. So stop doing that. Don't beat yourself up anymore. I totally love you. God loves you. The universe loves you. You're totally loved. And when you join with people that feel the same way as you, there's no need to feel rejected at all. Welcome you with open arms. So let that feeling go. And it's just living in fear, really, of people will reject you, and probably goes back to past lifetimes where in fact you were tortured, burnt at stake, and killed for having an open heart, and you're accused of being a witch, and if you're into herbs and things, so you are loved, you are wanted, and let go any feeling of being rejected. I just wasted so many years, I think, feeling that and living in fear. total waste of creative energy. Because when you're living in fear and lack, you can't access your creative energy. So when you put all of that energy you were spending on trying to be accepted, like spending a fortune on clothes, trying to fit in. I remember when I first qualified as a stockbroker in New York, I had on this suit which looked like a man. And when I went back to Hong Kong, one of my clients said, "You look like a police lady." You know, with a white shirt and little frilly bow. And I said, I feel awful. I'm trying to fit in, like, be an authority figure, like a man. And I don't feel that. It's going against my feminine nature. And from then on, I wore nice feminine pink suits or, nice nice suits. So, that feeling of trying to fit in and trying to please everybody, and that forced smile, like, I'm okay. I'm really okay. And you're dying inside. You're just dying in pain. And your body's in so much pain that your spirit just says, I'm not being in that body. I'm out of here. And you're leaving that poor body to cope on its own. I had one picture in Hong Kong in the Wall Street Journal. I looked like a demented, frazzled lunatic. I'm sure, like, one eye's going here, one eye going, I'm fine. No, I wasn't. I was scared out of my wits. So much energy is wasted, and you try to be a chameleon to fit in, when actually your journey is not to fit in at all. It's to stand out. So let your light shine. Bring that beautiful energy in and shine it out to everybody. And that gives other people permission to shine their light as well. So we can all be little beacons of light, being who we really are, not pretending everything's fine and we're dying inside, and just being totally who we are and totally okay and not pretending. It just makes life so simple. It's only our head that makes things so complicated. So let's move from our head into our hearts, open them, let any obstructions go, and let more and more light come in. And more be surrounded by the angelic realm. That sounds much more fun, doesn't it?